going to select a single sequence. Okay, we have selected some this NCBI is the okay. For example, everybody has selected sequences by using this. Somebody is selecting proteins, somebody is selecting nucleotides. Okay, right now I'll select protein. It's your choice what organism you want to select for any sequence. Okay, and how to select? For example, you can select leaf in plants as well. You can select anything what the target you have. Leaf, you can select leaf, you can select flower, you can select branches, you can select, not branches, you can select roots, leaves, birds, flowers in case of plants, but in case of animals, you can select any sequence like from hemoglobin, from any protein, from some these RBCs, from WBCs, from kidneys, from livers, means whatever you need. You can easily select any sequence. C, we have found some chain C, chain D, some proteins. Okay, how to select a single protein? This is the crystal structure of deoxyhuman hemoglobin complexed with two L35 molecules. Okay, we just go to FASTA. And this is the sequence. Now, what is the most similar sequence with this sequence that we have just extracted? First of all, we'll select the sequence, then copy the sequence for BLAST alignment. But also you can run BLAST from there. Run BLAST. As this is a protein sequence, which BLAST we will prefer? Yeah, I'm asking.
BLAST P.
Yes, BLAST P. Okay. We can copy sequence and open window BLAST. We can easily use BLAST. Also, we can run BLAST from NCBI because BLAST is inbuilt in this NCBI as well. Okay. Also, again, you can select BLAST, basic local alignment search tool. Okay. Is here BLAST is going to search the domain, and here we have opened separately BLAST, and we'll paste our sequence and go for BLAST P. Currently we have selected single sequence, and now we are going to identify some similar sequences of this sequence. Because these are very heavy tools, heavy databases, surely they will take some time. Okay. In the meantime, we'll go for the other work that we are doing, yesterday I was teaching some local alignment and global alignment. For BLAST, it will select from first to last sequence. But when we need, for example, you have sequenced a protein, but you don't know what is the active site of that protein. Active site means what is the conserved domain, what is the signature sequence, what is the particular fragment of that sequence which is functionally important, for which you need a local alignment. Okay, no problem. This is a BLAST. This is the BLAST. We'll prefer protein BLAST, BLAST P. Okay, this is BLAST P, this is BLAST N, this is BLAST X, this is T BLAST N, this is T BLAST X. Okay, for Anna, this is new for you, but rest of the students, they will know each and everything. I think this is BLAST P. We'll paste our sequence.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then this is the main thing. We have to select which database. Non-redundant protein sequences. Non-redundant means whatever data is available, just go for it. Reference proteins means the proteins having some reference. Reference like they have some genomic information, they have some metabolomic information. Model organisms, like in case of plants, we can select Arabidopsis. In animals, human, we have whole genome sequences. UniProt, this is the protein database. Then this is again a protein database, protein data bank. Basically, protein data bank is the database of protein structures. We can blast these sequences with protein data bank as well. Okay, transcriptomes and some metagenomic proteins. But right now we'll select non-redundant protein database, so that whatever information is available, we want to extract that information. We'll go for BLAST P and run for BLAST P. Okay, everybody is doing? Okay. See, this is the result. This is the result of BLAST. Means our sequence was basically chain D crystal structure, which is similar with hemoglobin subunit Homo sapiens, chain B human hemoglobins, hemoglobin beta. Here is some maximum score, total query coverage, E value, percentage identity. They are 100% similar, 99% similar, 100% similar, but 99% similar. For example, we need to find at least 10 sequences. Then what will we do? Because we are going towards alignment. So first we'll select this sequence. Just click on this accession. First sequence, accession, open in new tab. Then again chain B, open in new tab. 3, open in new tab. 4th, open in new tab. 5th, open in new tab. 6th, open in new tab. Then 7th, open in new tab. 8, 9, and 10. Okay. These are the related sequences. Why I have selected these sequences? Because among these sequences, here we can see 100% similarity. Okay, I'll teach you again, no problem. Means I'll show you. Here, FASTA sequence. Click FASTA on every sequence. FASTA, then FASTA, just click on FASTA for each sequence that we have selected. Now our next task is just to open a new text document, and I'll name it sequences underscore HB, means sequences related to hemoglobin according to your own wish, no issue. Okay, and then what will we do? We'll just open this text document by using edit with notepad++. Okay, and select all sequences that we have got result from after this blast. First sequence, Control C, Control V. Control C, copy, Control V, and then enter. Then for second sequence, copy and paste. And for third sequence, copy and paste. And for fourth sequence, copy and paste. Fifth sequence, what is getting what I'm trying to convey?
Yes, sir.
This copy paste, I'll ask you a question that I'm expecting from you. We have selected these 10 sequences for our alignment. Okay, now Control S means we have saved these sequences that we have selected. Is there is any way that I have wasted my time at least 5 to 10 minutes in copying and pasting, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste? Is there is any way to extract these sequences with the technique that I have told you, like send to all? Is there is any way? Nobody asked me.
Upside we can see.
Yeah.
Upside we
Is there
can see some download option. Sir.
Where in this blast? This blast? Yeah. Where download
The
option?
result, sir.
Download option.
Yeah. There is a download option. You can
There is a
select
download option, complete sequences, aligned sequences. Okay, but now don't use this. There may be some error and it will download all the sequences, maybe see how many sequences. Yeah, from
We
here,
can select also.
here 100 sequences selected. Okay, 100 sequences, and you maybe there are more sequences, but the easiest way is just go to NCBI, NCBI, these are the protein sequences. Just put ID here. First ID is this is session number. Just select these session numbers and paste here, Control V, then space, then second session number. Means what? How many sequences you want to download? You can easily copy and paste these just session numbers of these sequences. third, I'll just show you 2 or 3 sequences. And then, for example, in 3 sequences, just search. Yeah, the 3 sequences, you can easily select send to protein. How many sequences you required, just copy paste. Okay, but somebody will say we are wasting our time, like there's a how one by one there is a wastage of time. You can easily select like this, Control C, and in Edit with Notepad++, you can paste. Easily you can select this. How you can select this? Just Control F, means find, replace, this will replace with tab. Okay, replace all. Or you can easily select all the accession numbers in one go. Okay, is this okay for you? This is just a single method for Edit with Notepad+. This is not a part of bioinformatics. This simple technique, okay, to select the sequences whatever we need. But here we have selected some sequences. I'm closing this one. Okay, this is the sequence that we have selected. Now, the first question when I have started this class was how to select a good sequence. I have teach you a local alignment. Okay, I'll show you a database known as conserved domain database. By using this conserved domain database, we can search multiple sequences. We can search a single sequence as well. Okay, we'll just paste a single sequence from our currently I'll paste a single sequence and I'll submit the sequence. This is the sequence of basically hemoglobin. But what is the main functional part in this sequence? Which is the main fragment in this sequence, which is functionally important? This is the session number. This is the overall explanation of this sequence, that this is the hemoglobin beta gamma delta, means what is the overall literature about this protein which is available. Okay, now see, for this sequence, which is the functional part, highlighted in this yellow parts, this is the functional part. There is a hashtag, means here this, by using this database, we can easily predict what are the functional sites of this protein that we have selected, means which is the local fragment in this protein that we have selected for our further analysis. This is basically a locally aligned sequence, means we have identified a particular fragment which is functionally important in our sequence. We can easily find by using a conserved domain database. There are several other databases as well. This is one database which is known as conserved domain database. Other databases are InterProScan. Then there are some databases PFAM. Then there is a database like conserved domain database is one, PFAM other. Then there is a like InterProScan. Then here is a Embos Interpro, only Interpro, not Scan. Okay, and then CAT for these type of domains. Then for family, PFAM. For pathways, then it is a KEGG database. Okay. Now there was a question of local alignment. This is basically you can easily predict the function of the sequence. Means it has not considered the length of sequence. It just shown us what is the main functional site of this protein based on available data. Okay. Now this is the one sequence that we have selected for our local alignment. But if we want to align the related sequences that I have selected right now, we have selected these 10 sequences. Now we want to align these sequences only. What will we do? Just simply we'll go for bioedit. Bioedit. Everybody has downloaded bioedit. Still, I rename this because this is a text document and our sequences are in FASTA format. Now I have select all by Control A, then copy, then go to bioedit, file, then new from clipboard. Here some sequences are visible. Okay. What will we do? We'll go in alignment. We can go in view. We can edit sequences. Means there are some features for this bioedit. But what we will do today? Why we have downloaded this bioedit? Why we have downloaded this bioedit? We have
To
downloaded.
align the sequences.
Yes. Now in accessory applications, we'll go for ClustalW multiple alignment. Okay. Now we'll select output Clustal format and run ClustalW. Okay. This is the result of our related sequences. Now see, sequences which are similar, there is a star. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth sequence is not similar. Seventh is there is nothing. Means the sequences which are similar, we can easily see that here see there is a one sequence which is not similar, there is nothing. Means there is a gap. But sometimes there is a double dot, sometimes there is nothing. Why double dot? Means whenever one amino acid is changing in another amino acid, if it belongs in the same category, then there is a single dot or double dot, like acidic to acidic, basic to basic, polar to polar, non-polar to non-polar. But if it will change from polar to non-polar, then there are some separate indications in these softwares. Now see, we have selected a sequence related to human hemoglobin, and we have find some related sequences, and we have tried to align those sequences. See, all sequences are related sequences. We can easily see, we can easily find in our alignment results. Yeah. Okay. Now you have selected some sequences. Please open those sequences in bioedit and align those sequences and show me your results. That's why I have told you to select related sequences so that you can easily align and see the difference. Okay, are you ready for this? Just, it's very simple. Just if you have downloaded this BioEdit, go in File, New from Clipboard, just by copy and New from Clipboard, it will automatically give you some results like this. And then accessory application, cluster W, multiple alignment. Then in output, just select a star for output, and easily you can see the results like this. Now you can easily say that the fifth sequence is not similar with other sequences, maybe some SNP, maybe some SSR, maybe some there is a problem. This is the study for our further research. This is a target for research. Why there is M? But why there is a change? Maybe some mutation, maybe some problem. Okay, but rest of the sequence is almost similar. Although ID for each sequence is separate, but they are similar. How much similar? You can easily find the result in results. Okay. Now you have downloaded some 15 to 16 sequences that I have asked you at that time. Now please show me your results. Who will show first? Am I audible?
Yeah, Dr. I can show you. I just have one question, and like in
Yes,
this
yes,
cluster,
please.
when you ran the
Cluster W.
cluster W, how did you select for that star indication?
Okay, just share your screen.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm sharing
show
my
you
screen,
again.
and
Okay, just share.
yeah, this is the BioEdit.
Yeah, output. Here is the output. See, note there is output below this. Yes, yes. Please
Here?
select a box. Yes, output box. Yes, yes, yes. Run. Now run. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Means you have selected these related. No, no, no. This is not result. These are results after
Okay.
alignment. Okay. Now that's good. Means you have selected these sequences. Now you can see the relationship between these sequences. Very easily you can find that your sequences are related. Okay, no problem. I'll again go for another tool by using the same method. Now stop sharing your screen. I'll ask some other. Okay.
Yeah.
Now Hindu and Swanti, please, by using BioEdit, please show me your results. Anna, are you getting?
Yes, sir. Something.
Just download some related sequences and install a software BioEdit in your computer, in your laptop. Okay, BioEdit. This
Yeah,
is
I
the
would have to switch on to a Windows laptop. Actually, using a MacBook, and it's saying it's not available there.
no problem. Just you are using Mac.
Yeah.
You are using Mac, but then you should use an online tool that I'll teach now. I was planning
Okay.
to teach online tool as well. No problem. When you use Windows, you can easily install BioEdit. Okay.
Yeah. In the next class onwards, I'll have my Windows laptop with me ready and with all these prerequisites.
Okay, no problem. Just try to download BioEdit, edit with Notepad++ and Mega 10 as well. So that today we are working on these three tools. After
Mega
that,
10.
your Mega 10 for phylogenetic analysis.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Hindu, please, you are sharing your screen, I think. Yeah, please share your screen if you are you have results so that Okay, no problem, Swanti Gupta. No problem. Please mail me your results. By clicking up print, by taking a print screen, just send me your results in my mail. Okay.
Sir, is it visible?
Your screen is not visible to me.
Okay, just a second, sir.
Just present and share whole screen, entire screen of your laptop. Okay.
Now it is okay, sir.
Yeah, your screen is visible. Okay, you have selected so many sequences. Very nice. New from clipboard. Then
Accessory application. The result is like this.
actually your screen is stuck at new from clipboard only. Yeah. Then just there is a cursor below your screen. Okay, just please show me your results by clicking on the cursor this below your laptop, below on this tool, please.
So this is the file, sir.
Actually, there are only gaps. There is no result. There are only gaps that are visible to me. Just go at the end of this tool. At the end of this tool, where is it? There is a this sequence. Just move on your sequence. Means this is up to 130. Just move your cursor so that it will be after 130, 40 or 50. Means the reading is up to 130 only, na? Just
got
move
it.
your cursor so that it will be after 130, 40, 50. You
Scroll
can move your
right.
cursor.
Scroll right.
Yeah, I saw it, sir. So somewhere I can see some star marks, somewhere I can see 2 dots, somewhere I can see
Yeah.
only 6 dots.
Yes.
Awaken.
Where star, actually I'm not able to see your results, but if there are some stars, it means all sequences are similar. If there are some dots, that I have told you that it is converted from one to other, or one means sequences are not totally related. There is some
Yes.
gap between the sequences. This is
Sir?
the thing, na? There is a gap.
Yes,
Sir, I
sir.
have a
Because
query.
there are some different species. That might be one reason.
Yeah, but
The sequences are from different plants. That might be one reason.
okay, no problem. That can be a reason. Means this is not a big deal. Okay. Now we'll go for a online tool.
Sir, I have a
Uh,
query.
Yes, please.
Can we shift the frames? I think this is just one frame analysis. So if we shift the frame, there's quite a possibility that we might get more alignment.
Yes, we can. Why not? We can select lot of sequences. I am aligning more than 1,000, 50,000. This is just a
No,
trial for.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
can we shift the frames? Like there's +1, +2, +3, -1, -2, -3 frames. So there's 6 frames, right? So
Yeah,
this is
six
in
frame
which
actually.
frame?
Yeah, we can shift the frames. I have teach that in my previous lecture, that how to find the open-ending frames from a nucleotide sequence, and how to
Okay.
select the longest frame, and how to analyze that frame by using BLAST and other secondary analysis like
So
XPath,
it's like,
like yeah.
so Cluster W basically analyzes all the 6 frames and gives the best possibility. Is it like that?
No. Cluster W is just for alignment of the sequence, and frame to predict the frame is the separate thing. Which frame is the best frame? That is basically from first sequence, from maybe there are 3 forward and 3 reverse frames by
Three
selecting
reverse.
some amino
Yeah.
acids. Okay, but if you are going for cluster W, it means you are going for some evolutionary analysis. You have already, there are several protein sequences, and you are going to analyze which is the ancestor and which is the later sequence, and what are the conserved region of those sequences only. Okay.
Okay, it has got nothing to do with the frame analysis.
No. There is no need to frame analysis. If you want to find the particular conserved sequence in a frame, then you need the 6 frames, and then you can align the 6 frames in order to find a conserved region of that frame. And you can say -3 frame is the best suitable frame for this sequence. First frame, second frame, whatever frame will be suitable for you.
So
Okay.
do you have
Based
recorded
on
sessions for the last previous classes?
I think Dr. Renu, you have recorded my lectures now.
Yeah, I have recorded. I'll send her the link for that.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. No, today this is why I have told you to download BioEdit, because whenever there is a problem in internet, you can easily align your sequences offline. Now we'll go for multiple sequence alignment in cluster W. Cluster W, multiple sequence alignment. Okay.
Sir, actually, we have small doubts, sir. And the BioEdit,
Same process, same thing I'll do in cluster W. This multiple sequence alignment cluster W, that was actually cluster omega. Okay, there is a difference. What is the difference? That I'll show you in my separate lecture. First of all, output format will be cluster, then protein, then I'll copy and paste all my sequences.
Sir, is your screen shared?
Oh, my screen is not shared. Okay, please.
Yeah.
I'll share, and again I'll do my all work. I forget to share my screen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for this alert. Now, am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll go for multiple sequence alignment cluster W. Please open this window. Means again in Google, cluster W multiple sequence alignment means MSA, and then go for multiple sequence alignment cluster W genome net. Okay, this is pairwise alignment, means we are selecting multiple sequences. What is the relation between first sequence with second, second with third, third with fourth? There may be some score. And what is the format? Format is FASTA. Our sequences are protein sequences, then we'll select protein. If we are going with DNA sequences, then we'll select DNA. But right now we are selecting protein sequences, and we'll paste our sequences in this box. I have copy and paste all my sequences from this. I have copied and I have pasted my sequences in this. You can also choose your file. That I have my file that where I have kept my sequences, and you will go for execute multiple sequence alignment. Okay, now see, multiple sequence alignments for sequence 147 amino acids was the length of this protein, ID was this, how many sequences, 10 sequences, and in 1 to 200% similarity, 1 to 300, 1 to 400, then the score is going to reduce for the alignment. And this is the alignment score for these 10 sequences. This score is totally same that we are working with BioEdit. See, the results are same. But why I have done this? I just want to select a tree by using, for example, fast tree. I just want to, we'll go for others as well. Means in this portion, we can generate evolutionary trees as well. It will take some time. You see. Now we can easily predict that the sequences which are closely related and the sequences which are distinctively related. Which was the main sequence? How many distance? Means you can easily find. For example, these sequences, they have common ancestor and they are in the same cluster. And this sequence have a separate cluster and this sequence has a separate cluster, means there is a difference. You can easily find, you can easily generate a evolutionary tree by selecting many sequences. And you can easily find which is the main ancestor of this tree, this sequence, and after that, which sequence was the next sequence after mutation, then again after mutation, which was the new sequence, then again after mutation, which was the new sequence, and how many sequences are closely related. This is the representation of tree that you can see in many publications, in many evolutionary analysis as well. Means by using bioinformatics, you can easily predict the phylogenetic trees in by using the sequences only. Means by using the sequences, you can easily relate which is the ancestor and which is the new organism. Now this is the basically a unrooted tree. Means we don't have any root. We have a root. This is a rooted tree. Okay. If tree is unrooted, can you give me any example of any unrooted tree? If we are going towards evolutionary analysis. I'll show you example. Okay, these are the trees. This is a tree basically that I want to show you, a tree, nothing else. For a rooted tree and unrooted tree. For example, if we are working on a rooted tree means we are taking the example of a cell and we are going towards only land organisms. For example, a cell, everybody knows that origin of cell is at the warm, some coastal areas where the water was warm, and after that there's some tissues, then organs, then organ systems, then an organism. For example, we are talking about land animals, then we'll go for some maybe some reptiles, then amphibians, then birds, humans. Means we can take the example of a reptile as ancestor. After that, some first amphibians, then reptiles, then birds and humans. We can take example like this. Means we have taken the root as amphibians. But for unrooted trees, we don't know which is the exact ancestor. For example, if we are talking about a cell, you know, cell origins in water, and a whale is also a mammal, a human is also a mammal. Then who knows, whale was the first mammal or human was the first mammal? One cycle is towards the water and other cycle is towards the land. But the ancestor is a cell. Means it is lying between some two mammals. One is whale and other is human. There are some organisms from cell to whale as well. There are some organisms from cell to human as well. Where is the ancestor where ancestor is lying actually. It is a unrooted tree, means some branches are towards left and some branches are towards right. That is a unrooted tree. And for a rooted tree, when we ignore one part and we are going towards another part only, then it's a rooted tree. Okay. In this case, we are working on hemoglobin. There is a no branch of this hemoglobin that there is another part. Maybe there may be some sequences, but we have not selected those sequences. Okay, this is just a simple concept of rooted and unrooted trees. Okay, we can easily predict the ancestors and the new organisms, means we can easily trace out our evolutionary history by using the simple sequences. Okay, anybody has any doubt? Everything is right, or there is any doubt?
So, through the theories that you shared, the unrooted trees are basically the trees that have ancestors at the cellular level.
Not at a cellular level, means we don't know about their ancestors, where ancestors are lying. We don't know. Means this can be lie in a center, and one branch towards left side or right side or upper side or down side. This is the example of a cell. From cell, there are some small fishes, large fishes, and then a whale, which is a mammal. From cell, there is a towards land animals. There are amphibians, reptiles,
that means
birds.
unrooted tree is a tree which basically starts with the cell. Basically it starts at the origination level, but we don't know about its evolution.
Means they have 2 branches at a time.
There are 2. So the tree that you were saying, it has 2 branches at a time.
Means it has 2 or more branches at a time, so that we don't know firstly where it is. Means we don't, their ancestry is not clear. From cell, whale comes first or human comes, we don't know. Means I'm not talking about exactly at human, but there may be other mammals as well. They are on land. Okay, means ancestry is not clear. It is lying between 2 branches.
Okay.
Cell is lying between 2 branches. Huh?
Get it.
It is in the center. But if we are rejecting one side and we are going towards other side, then it is a root. Means this is the root and this is the single branch. From this single branch, there are sub branches, and then again some sub branches, then some fragments, and the closely related, they come in a single clade. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. And after this, I'll show you some Mega 10 software. Mega 10, everybody has, I think, downloaded. Mega 10. These all are related to multiple sequence alignment. And after that, we'll go for tree analysis, which is a very basic part. Before that, we have done BLAST, how to extract sequences. Today, we have done this. Now we'll go for Mega analysis, Mega 10 analysis. Okay. For Mega 10, firstly, we'll download some data. File, we have opened our file. We'll align our file. What kind of alignment we need? We need align with cluster W. Okay. This is the offline method by which we can easily align our sequences by using Mega 10. Okay, this is the basically a alignment result. Here we have not selected any data like, but please write this portion first, see, and then again you should write, because this is a big software. Then click on data, save session or export alignment in Mega format. For example, I am selecting desktop, sequence HBMEG, means this is a Mega format. Save. Okay, and we have to write some name, HB. Okay, now we'll go for basic this. File, analysis, phylogeny, construct a neighbor joining method or UP geometry, whatever we need. I have shown you this neighbor joining at UP geometry. Okay, and this will come again. I'll teach you. Firstly, please see this. I'm using 3 threads. I have 3 threads in my computer. This is a pairwise detection. Bootstrap replications, I'm using only 50. But for a good tree, you should use at least 10,000. And Bootstrap means again and again, it will try to analyze, and then it will give us some results related to tree. See, this is the tree. Okay, now how you can view this tree? You have several other methods as well, like this. Like this, you can see this tree in circle as well. And you can easily find, for example, this is main ancestor, and then this is a single sub branch. This is a single branch. These two are closely related. These two are mainly closely related. These two are closely related, which is the common ancestor. By using Mega 10, there are several results of this Mega 10 available in several publications. You can easily find these publications, the results of this kind of trees of Mega 10 in good publications with good journal. Okay, now again we will do the same thing, and you should write, because I know this is a thing that mostly my students forget after running this software. They are confident that we can do, but after some time they forget each and everything, because right now I'm doing it, looks very easy, but after some time, how to select, how to save, how to analyze, that will be difficult for you. Okay, again we'll use, first of all, I'm closing this. Okay, I'm closing this biodata as well. Mega 10. First, our data is this sequence hb.fa. Okay, we'll go for file. Please write file, open file, then open a file or session. I have sequences in sequence hb.fa. Then I'll open what we want to do, because we are starting with basic. After aligning, we will analyze. So first we'll align, after that we'll analyze. Align, and alignment is based on cluster W alignment. Everybody is getting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have selected only 10 sequences. You can select 300 sequences. You can select 400 sequences. Okay. Okay. Then just keep these things default and okay. This is the result of alignment. Now select data, export alignment in mega format. Then I am this desktop. I'll rename this because I already have saved this file, rename _1, save, and HP _1, input title of this data. Okay. This has been saved in my desktop as a sequence hb1.meg. Okay. Now we'll go towards analysis, which is the second part. What kind of analysis I need right now? I need phylogeny, means I'll construct the phylogenetic tree. For example, now I'll go for UPGMA. I'll select this. This is a sequence that I have saved for Mega10. And I'll open this. Now there is some bootstrap methods. Statistical method is UPGMA that I have told you yesterday. Then pairwise threads means how many threads. If you are working with workstation, you can select 64 threads. How many processes are here there? This is basically depends on your system properties. Okay, this is the result. Now you can see bootstrap consensus tree, original tree. You can easily generate tree and analyze which
So what
sequences
exactly
are.
are these numbers 32, 24, 16, 74 and all?
What is saying this? These numbers.
Yes, sir.
These 74, 16, 14, 22 and 32 and 70 and 50, 56. This is the basically your scoring matrix. When your one sequence is aligning with other sequence, there are some matrices like one is PAM, other one is Blossom, and how many times these bootstrap has done and after how many successful attempts, what is the percentage of this closeness, relatedness, they are showing us some numbers. Means there are two sequences and first sequence is NP00509 and AAX37051. 74% attempts, they are closely related, and between 74 and 14 there are two branches. This is only 16 times. Okay, but for this and this it's a 14 times. Okay, this is basically your result of from your matrices.
Okay.
That's a, yeah.
Thank you.
And again, this you should practice by using more sequences. Okay. Anybody has any doubt related to this? Please ask.
So what is a thread? Why
Thread.
have we kept it 3? Yes, sir.
Actually,
Processor.
this is basically I have my laptop with 3 processors only. Okay, so I can select 3 only. If you are working on a workstation, when I was working on a workstation, there are 64 threads. There may be 128 threads. It depends on the memory of your computer, basically RAM of your computer. Okay, if you want to find how many threads are there, how many processes are there, you can easily use nproc in your command line. You can find out that how many threads are available in your computer.
Okay, sir. So it will increase the speed of processing if we have more, like if we have 64 threads.
If we have 64 threads, then you can select 60 threads. I think there if we are, I have selected 50 bootstrap methods, but when we are selecting 10,000 bootstrap methods, it will take 2 days for bootstrapping. 2 days, 4 days, 10 days for bootstrapping. But if my threads are 3, then it will take 1 month for bootstrapping for 10,000 steps. But if I have 64 threads and I am selecting 10,000 bootstrap methods, then it will take speed, means it will speed up 3 and 63. How many times it will speed it up? Maybe 20 times.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
20
sir.
times it will speed it up. Basically, this is the requirement of your computer when we are working on a workstation, when we are working on a laptop, there is a difference, okay? If you are working on a workstation, same work will be done in 1 hour, and on a laptop, maybe it will, that's why I have selected only 10 sequences, because I know my laptop will crash. But when I am working on a workstation, then I'll select 10,000 sequences, 20,000 sequences based on our requirement. Okay. Just for a teaching or learning method, I think 10 sequences are more than enough.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now I will expect some results of trees like this. Okay. You can easily save these trees. When you got these trees, you can easily file. 1 minute. Where is this tree? This is the tree. You can easily save this tree. Image, save as PDF file or PNG file, TIFF file, means whatever you need. I think PDF is better. Just try to select 20 sequences or 25 sequences and try to generate such kind of trees, so that whenever you start work in research, if any person will give you a single sequence without any information, you can easily find the function of that sequence by using BLAST. After that, you can select some distinct organisms and you can easily say, we have also done evolutionary analysis of this single sequence by selecting number of genomes, number of organisms, whatever information is available in our public domains. Okay, just try to generate at least 2 trees, means at least 1 or 2 trees. I think 2 are more than enough. By selecting 20 sequences, just try to generate these trees by using Mega 10 only. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Because I think Hindu, you are working on Mega 10 as well, because previously you have Mega 8. I think you are aware of this. This Mega 10 or Mega software is very much important for presenting our trees in order to find any mutation, means from where this mutation occur and from one generation to another generation, is this mutation is passing on or not. We can easily detect these things. That's why there are some people who are working on this type of trees, means this gene is mutant and what kind of mutation is there, is this is passing from one generation to another or not. We can easily predict these things as well by using such type of trees. Okay. And you can easily see there are some publications in Nature Communications, there are some in Lancelet, there are some publications in this PNAS as well, means they have good impact factors 10, 20, 40 in Cell as well. They are using Mega 10 in order to analyze the mutational analysis, mutations, SNPs, SSRs, and how these SNPs are passing from one generation to another, what kind of SNP is there, which is the sequence having SNP, what is the deleterious mutations, what are the probable chances to extinct a species. They can easily find by using these alignment and tree-based methods only. Okay.
So how exactly are we getting all these information with the help of the piece of a picture?
Not with the help of a picture. Actually, I have shown you alignment.
Yeah.
Okay. I have shown you alignment. In that alignment, maybe one sequence is distinct, but 7 sequences are totally same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If one sequence is different, it means there is a mutation.
Yes.
Yes. And is that same sequence is passing in next generation, you will sequence next generation sequences. means sequences from next generation, and you will align with previous sequences, and you will align with that sequence as well. You can easily find that that mutation is passing or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that's all for today. This is really a huge task to do, because when you are working on a sequence alignment, first of all, how to retrieve sequences, then how to align sequences, then how to generate phylogenetic tree from these sequences. It will take at least 6 months to learn if you are trying to your own, because I have when I learned these things, I think 6 months or less. I think it will take 1 year for me to learn these things, because right now it looks very simple, but really it's not that simple. Okay, so just try to practice, just try to extract some sequences, just try to align those sequences, just try to find the conserved region of those sequences. Means which is the conserved region? Is there is a mutation in that conserved region? If there is a mutation in conserved region, then you are all are aware about our RBC sickle cell anemia, means sickle shaped by a mutation of a single amino acid. Okay, means by a single mutation there is a change from oval to sickle cell. Okay, so we can easily find, but we can find these things by using alignment only. Means which amino acid has been changed, we can align multiple sequences and we can easily find that there is a change. This means this amino acid has been changed from another amino acid, we can easily predict. When we will do our structure analysis, I'll show you changes in structures as well. And if you are working on sequences, what is the conserved part of that sequence, we can easily find with some local alignment methods by where we have used some conserved domain databases. Okay. After this, when you are familiar with this Mega10, then I'll go for a sequence with unknown function. I'll select a sequence. The function means a sequence which having no function till date. I'll select a sequence with a hypothetical sequence. Means after in my next lecture, I'll select a sequence with unknown function. Then we'll try to find the function of that sequence on the basis of alignment, BLAST, conserved domain database, and then we'll try to find the evolutionary history of that sequence as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. If you have any query, please ask me. And that's all for today. Today task is only
Sir,
yeah.
At the start of the lecture, you were talking about local alignment. All that we did today was local alignment. What exactly is global alignment then?
Actually, I have taught this in my yesterday's lecture. Okay, maybe Dr. Renu will share that lecture with you. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I will share that.
Yeah, you can easily find local alignment, pairwise alignment, local global alignments, and then I have shown some blasts as well, types of blast. Okay, you can easily learn things.
How many lectures exactly have I missed?
I think 2 lectures only.
2 lectures.
Only 2 lectures and 2 practical sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, you can easily see, and if you have any query, I'll solve that.
Thank you so much.
So, sir, actually, like whatever we do with BioEdit is also possible with Mega, is it, or some things are still we do with BioEdit?
No. BioEdit, actually, I have told you that if you don't have any internet function, you can use this tool offline by using some offline mode. I have told you yesterday, if you want to align some sequences, you have a lot of sequences after next generation sequencing, either by some simple sequences. If you have 10 to 20 sequences, either maybe you want to align 2 sequences, that I have a sequence, now I have a sequence with a machine, and the results are similar or not. You can easily use BioEdit locally in your computer without any internet connection. Means this is just for your knowledge, but 90% people, they'll use only multiple sequence alignment available online.
No, my question was regarding Mega and bioedits. Even Mega was offline only.
And
Now
Mega is
we are,
offline, but
so whatever we do with bioedit can be done with Mega offline. Is that my?
Mega 10 will not give you results in the form of stars. Mega will align and make it as a MEG format only. Means it will save that file for its own analysis. Means what are the requirement for tree. But for if you need the particular sequence by stars, means which is a particular sequence by stars, you can easily analyze. By using bioedit or by using multiple sequence alignment online, you can find the sequence in one spot. Okay, but the results are almost same. If you want to analyze one by one, the alignment is all 100% similar, means not 100, you can say 99.9% it is similar. Okay, but there is a result in the form of stars and dots. You can easily predict in one spot. Okay, and Mega 10 results are almost same, but they will give you format of Mega.
Okay.
Yeah. In my next lecture, I'll give you a glimpse about this. I've told you like what I've told you, like this. Some structural part, but that will do in our structures as well. I'll show you some BLAST, how to download data from whole database and how to create the database, and then we'll do some practical session as well. Okay. And but before that, you should please generate 2 trees or 3 trees, whatever feasible for you, and show me results by selecting at least 15 to 20 sequences. Try to find some related sequences only. Okay, then I'll show you. Anna, you have worked on next generation sequences company.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how to submit your data of next generation sequence in a database?
How to submit my data? So I was in marketing team. I was not in the coding department.
Okay, no problem. I'll teach you how to submit your sequencing data in a particular database. Okay. Maybe in my next lecture, I'll show you how to submit our data, because how to extract data, that is very simple. By selecting, you can easily extract sequences, but how to submit that data? If you are sequencing you have selected a plant that is you have identified a new plant, you are sequencing that plant, and you have to submit that data in a database. How to submit that data? But before that, I will do some work on hypothetical proteins, means the proteins with unknown function. We'll use the tools, the softwares, the databases. We'll use these tools only to predict the function of a hypothetical protein sequence. Uncharacterized protein sequence, you can say. Unknown protein sequence, you can say. Hypothetical protein sequence, you can say. Or a sequence with no hits, you can. We will do that work in my next session. Okay.
So one question, Dr. Gagandip, like, see this, you're saying that the submission of the sequence, right? Generally, the sequences are submitted only like the new sequences that people do some experiments and get the sequences, they submit it, or after doing some analysis on these bioinformatics tools, and if you get a predicted sequence also, you can submit it again into the...
No. If the sequence is already submitted, means when I am working on the sequences, I have to give the reference that I have selected the sequence from NCBI database by selecting particular organism, and that was submitted by whom NCBI knows that.
Okay.
Okay, but if I am generating new sequences of a newly identified plant or animal, okay, that means there are several organisms, their sequences or their data is still lacking in NCBI. If that is not sequenced, then they will allow me to submit.
Okay,
After
so only through the the physical experiments that you do, you submit a sequence.
Yeah, after a wet lab sequencing, you can submit a sequence. You can submit structure, but that is the bioinformatics part. But you can't submit a sequence because you are extracting sequence from NCBI, and you can't submit same sequence in NCBI. You can just submit, you can just publish the analysis part of that sequence,
Okay.
and you can say that that sequence is available in NCBI.
Okay.
Yeah, you should give the reference of NCBI that I have selected sequence from that thing, and after analysis I have found this thing.
Okay.
Okay, means if you are generating new, means if somebody is working on next generation sequencing, he has generated data and he will submit that data in NCBI. He has all rights to lock that data for 2 years until he will explore or dimensions of that data. But 99% wet lab people, they don't know how to analyze the overall sequences, and there is a lot of data that I have also extracted from NCBI. They just find a single gene and they have submitted whole data. After 2 years, the data is still there, and we'll extract that data, we'll analyze that data, we'll predict some analysis part like alignments, will predict some phylogenetic analysis, will predict some conserved domains, will predict some structures, three-dimensional structures, will predict some differential gene expressions, will predict some mapping analysis, Reed's mapping, will predict, and we can easily publish that work by giving their reference only.
Okay. No, but when we were searching for the sequences, right, we saw in the list of sequences, there are some things like predicted sequences. Are you talking about these predicted sequences that you are talking about predicted when you say predicted?
Predicted sequences are like the function is still predicted, but you are not 100% confident about that function. Predicted, I'm not talking about predicted right now. Predicted means at least you have predicted. I am talking about the sequences, their function is not predicted as well.
Okay.
These are unknown sequences only. There are several unknown sequences are available at NCBI. How to extract those sequences, I'll teach you in my next lecture. Please remind me that I have to extract unknown sequences and to analyze those unknown sequences. And if you want to see some work on those unknown sequences, you can easily find my publications in I have one publication in 3.5 impact factor. I have done only 2 to 3 things that we have done till now, and I have published my work unknown by selecting unknown sequences. I have analyzed those sequences by using conserved domains, by using this XPaciProt param, TMM, and I have published all this work. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Still a small doubt.
Yes, please.
Once we have done blast analysis,
Yes.
from the results, we are taking the sequences, we are retrieving the sequences, multiple sequences.
Yes.
By taking the score of similarity, and what
Yes.
cutoff we have to follow, whether it is like
Actually,
90 or 80 above.
Okay. Actually, when you are going for a blast analysis, you should select only top hit.
Top hit, only 1 or 2 sequences.
Only one sequence for top hit if you are going to analyze for a function. But if you want to analyze for sequence alignment, then you should go for top hit, second top hit, third top hit, fourth top hit, fifth top hit, like that. But don't go below that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sir, what exactly is that E value in the blast result?
E values are the basically expected value. If E value is 0 and percentage is 100, then sequence is 100% similar. If E value is more than less than 0, like if it is 1, then there is a lot of amino acids that are not similar with that sequence. If E value is 0, then sequence is mostly similar, means 100% similar. If it is not 0, if there is some number, like there is some power, then sequence is not 100% similar, but it may be similar. Then we'll go for percentage identity, like 90% identity, like 80% identity, 50% identity, that you can easily predict from percentage identity. If E value is 0, directly you can easily select that sequence. This is the 100% similar sequence.
Like for example, it is written 3E04.
Yeah, 3E04, it means 3 into 10 raised to power 4.
3 into 10 to 4.
Yeah. 3 into 10 raised to power 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
One more thing. When it was 3e raised to e04, it was written 100% similar when you were doing that analysis over the database, right?
Okay, no problem. It can be 100% similar, but query and subject, there are differences. Your subject and query, if you are working on a query is similar with other sequence. That can be similar, but not, means if you are 1 with 2 is similar, but 2 is with 1 is not similar. Okay, means one sequence has 102 amino acid, other sequence has 99 amino acids. 99 amino acids are similar, but 3 amino acids are still not similar because they are extra in other sequence. Okay, but you can select, basically there is no fixed cutoff for these sequences. In this case, you have to select only top hit because there are data is still lacking for several organisms. Then you should select only top hit for the for your predicted functions. You should mention that e value is this and bit score is this and percentage in NT is this, based on which I have selected this sequence. Okay, means there are unknown sequences that I'm talking right now. If sequences are unknown, means how much similarity is there? There is only 20% similarity. There is only 30% similarity. That is why they are not giving them any function. That is why they are not predicted any function about that sequence. Okay, but if it is more than 33, more than 33 to 66, they can say that this is the predicted function. But if it is more than 70%, they can confidently say that this is the particular function of the sequence.
Okay.
And this is wet lab validated as well.
Okay.
Yes, Swanti, please.
Sir, if we do not use BLAST and we take the sequences from NCBI, for example, I had taken INMT enzyme, and for that I took Homo sapiens, Paniscus, different species. I don't do BLAST. I just take these FASTA sequences from NCBI and do the cluster W and everything. So what will be the difference if I don't do BLAST and do it manually?
Actually, BLAST is just to find the similar sequences from the same species, from the different species. But if you are working manually, you just need to find the alignment results. You can easily find by using cluster W. For BLAST, you are searching sequences from already available databases. By cluster W, you are providing the sequences for which you need alignment results.
So because in BLAST there were synthetic sequences also. So if I don't want those synthetic sequences which have been artificially derived, I
Okay.
want to exclude them. So I'll have to do by NCBI only.
No. You can exclude those sequences. You don't select those sequences because for BLAST, you can easily predict the similar sequences in already available databases. But by cluster W, you have selected some particular sequences for alignment. This is the only difference.
Okay.
Means in BLAST, you are providing one sequence and that BLAST will hit your sequence with at least 10 million or billion sequences and it will find some similar sequence. But by cluster W, you are just giving them 10 sequences and it will work around those 10 sequences only.
Okay.
So BLAST and cluster W work on the same algo.
No, algorithm is totally different. For BLAST, there is actually I'll teach you BLAST as well. In manual BLAST is basically you are giving some sequences and you are giving a query sequence. That query sequence will map with one sequence, second sequence, third sequence, fourth sequence, and the similar sequence it will give result you a top hit. But for cluster W, it will give you what is the similarity of one with second, one with third, one with fourth, one with fifth. I mean, it will give you result of each sequence that you have provided. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Okay, let us stop here today then.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gagandeep.
Thank you all.
And
There
thank
is
you
any
all. So see you next week on Thursday, 4 p.m. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.